Can I just say, is that something you do regularly?
What's that?
Slip into a wetsuit and then hang out with a gaggle of friends?
Hello and welcome to Everything's Fine, probably your weekly antidote to bad news. The podcast that looks at the collapsing state of the world and says, right, I'm going out to the shed to talk about something stupid. If you're looking at the tabloids and worrying, please don't. Theirs is not a quality of reporting that needs to bother you or anyone else. Don't believe me? Well, let's see how they've done on following the downfall of Peter Mandelson. Dan Hodges of the Daily Mail said on the 7th of February, the fact is everyone knew the truth about Mandelson and Epstein. The Prime Minister's claim that he and he alone was kept in the dark over the whole squalid saga is utterly preposterous. However, the same Dan Hodges wrote in the same paper on the 20th of December 2024, ruthless, cynical and cunning, why Mandy is the perfect choice as US ambassador. Meanwhile, over in Newsagents on 2nd of February, John Soppel said Keir Starmer made a choice in appointing Peter Mandelson. There were many people in the security services who said, whoa, are you sure about this? There are some pretty serious questions for Keir Starmer to answer. Now surely this can't be the same John Soppel who wrote on the 29th of December last year in The Independent, Peter Mandelson's a gamble as ambassador, but exactly what we in Trump need. Yes, he has his faults, but he's bloody good and a class act. And in The Telegraph, on the 5th of February, Gordon Rayner wrote that Sir Keir didn't need a James Bond or a George Smiley to winkle out the fact that Lord Mandelson was far too close for comfort to Jeffrey Epstein. And that's fair enough. From the man who wrote on the 9th of May last year, The 5 Secrets of Peter Mandelson's Unrivaled Political Genius, his undeniable natural talents have been supplemented by 40 years of experience. So I guess all I'm saying is, if you seek an opinion, these people may not be the best ones to go to. Now, aside from the delights of unreliable journalism, this week brought us the usual delights of wars and climate warnings and pedo billionaires still getting away with it. And then the shock. The horror. Curling drama at the Winter Olympics. That is the peak of global scandal so far in 2026, people. Now, you might be thinking, how does curling, the sport that looks like an extremely polite argument over ice and house cleaning tools, end up with a cheating allegation? Well, listeners, the entire thing started when Sweden accused the Canadian team, including veteran curler Mark Kennedy, of illegally double touching the stone after release. A rule breach where you make contact with the stone once it's already left your hand and past the hog line. Have either of you, Gemma, Stu, ever been involved in illegal double touching?
Not that it's been proven. No.
Good.
What about you, Gemma?
No, no.
Just no.
What's the hog line?
You know,
It's the line that they can't cross at the beginning.
Thanks, Gemma.
I mean, that was succinct, wasn't it? That was beautiful.
So this whole thing, it could have got out of hand. There was videos of fiery confrontation. There were expletives that would make a motorway road worker blush. Someone told someone else to F off live on the Olympic ice. That happened. It's not exactly the elegant brush sweeping montage you see on the BBC highlights reel, is it? Then it spread like curling gossip at a social club. The umpire later removed a stone from a women's game involving Canada and Switzerland for the same alleged double touching. A British curler was penalised for touching a stone after releasing their game. I mean, World Curling themselves were forced to come sweeping in and clarify the rules mid-tournament. Unbelievable, isn't it? Some pundits are calling it an injustice. Some are calling it a grotesque misinterpretation of rules. Others are calling it the most intense drama in curling since that time someone accidentally sneezed on a broom. All I know is no one saw that coming, did they? Then this is why it occupies literally hours of airtime on terrestrial TV. However, Gemma, I believe, getting straight into this whole good news malarkey, that you have got some good news involving curling.
I have. So, yeah, the Winter Olympics, as you've said, are in full swing. There's drama, there's success, there's all sorts going on there. I don't know about you, but I'm properly addicted to the curling, like ridiculously so. So I went in search of a bit of positivity and inspiration from the world of curling, and it did not disappoint. Every athlete has a backstory, hours of training, sacrifices, the whole blood, sweat, and tears package. But every so often, someone's path shines a little bit brighter because of what they had to overcome to even stand on the starting line. And that's where Marcus Sippela comes in. He hasn't, unfortunately, made the Olympic team.
Did he get arrested for double touching?
I don't think he wasn't a double toucher. He was an
I don't
Olympic
think you get
qualifier.
arrested for it.
Oh, okay. Well, depends in what context,
Well, I
right?
suppose.
I don't think you can get arrested for double touching in a curling stone sense.
I see.
You can in a nightclub.
Probably. I don't think it'd even have to be a double touch in a nightclub for that to be an issue.
And the trouble is, once it's a double touch, it's hard to say it was an accident.
Marcus Sippela. So
Okay.
he's a very good curler. He's
Not
competed.
good enough to make the Olympics, but okay.
Well, now he was close, I feel. Like Olympic qualifiers, but not qualifying.
No, but I would put
Times.
it, Eddie the Eagle Edwards made the Olympics. That's what I'd say.
Feel very bad for Marcus now. Anywho, Marcus competes in mixed doubles curling for Finland, and he's chosen to share something deeply personal, not for sympathy, but because he hopes it might help someone else choose a different direction in their own life. And honestly, after hearing it, you'll understand why his motto is Own Your Future. Marcus started curling at 17, full of energy and ambition, but just 2 years later, everything changed. In his own words, Marcus says, I started to curl when I was 17. 2 years later, I was diagnosed with arthritis and I had to quit curling. I was wheelchaired several times when both my knees were infected at the same time and I couldn't walk with sticks. Imagine that, 19 years old, watching your sport and your independence slip away. And then, out of nowhere, someone from his past stepped back into his life, his old gym teacher. This teacher lived near Marcus's parents, and when he heard what had happened, he didn't just send a message or drop off a card. He showed up, literally rang the doorbell, took Marcus for a drive, and brought him to a quiet spot in the forest.
So why was the forest
Hang
nice?
on, I can't want to. I want to get rid of the forest. That's just
I like
crazy.
the forest.
I don't like the. Well, I do like forest, but I don't like the forest in this context because it's given Mr. That's what
I
it's
Don't
trying to
say
come
his name
Yeah.
on the podcast.
You're gonna be. It's gonna be cut. We're not live. It's all good,
Just,
right?
I'll cut it.
He'll do the cutting, don't
Just
worry.
say it. Don't worry. But I am definitely cutting my stuff.
Or at least be both times.
Yeah. Oh, was there twice? Was there?
You just said it.
Oh shit!
I think I said it twice. We're up to yeah.
Everybody,
Stop talking about this stuff.
look hard. I'll go leave one in by mistake.
I think we should leave all in.
No one say that name again. Stop it. Right, after three, 1, 2, 3, no more.
This teacher lived near Marcus's parents, and when he heard what was happening, he didn't just send a message or drop off a card. He showed up, literally rang the doorbell, and then he gave Marcus a
Did he go into a forest?
I'm going to take that as a yes.
I heard he did, didn't you?
I heard he did. With a teacher.
Who we mustn't mention. Sorry, Gemma. Touch my dolphin. Anyway, you can't.
Was his teacher Mr.
He pressed the doorbell. I don't know
Okay.
whether it was a double touch.
Tell us about what happened after he'd rung the doorbell, Gemma.
Well, they went for a drive.
Where did they go?
Forest.
Oh, nice.
Yes, apparently. So Marcus says he stopped the engine, looked directly in my eyes, and said that I now need to choose the direction of the rest of my life.
Why did he look into her eyes in the forest?
He stopped the engine, looked directly in my eyes, and said that I now need to choose the direction for the rest of my life. He gave me two options. If we turn left, I can feel sorry for myself and give up. If we turn right, I must promise that I will never give up my positive attitude and everything will be possible. We did not turn left. That moment, sitting in a parked car at a T-junction in the woods, became the turning point in his life. That decision didn't magically fix everything overnight, but it changed how Marcus faced what came next. He committed to optimism, to resilience, to believing that his story wasn't over. Marcus said, "The decision I made in that forest at the age of 19 has shaped my whole life, both on and off the ice." And then years later, something remarkable happened. 4 years later, the doctors found the right medication for my disease, and all my symptoms were gone in one day. A few years later, I started to curl again. Just like that, after years of pain and uncertainty, his body gave him back the possibility of movement, of sport, of dreaming again, and he didn't waste it. Now Marcus competes on the world stage, but he also shares his story openly. Not because it's easy, but because he knows someone out there might need to hear it. This is what Own Your Future means to me. No matter what happens, we can always choose our attitude. It is an active decision that we can make every single day, over and over again. And honestly, in the middle of all the Olympic excitement, it's a good reminder that the most powerful victories don't always happen under bright lights. Sometimes they happen quietly, in a forest, at a crossroads, with someone asking you which way you want your life to go.
Well, there we go.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is inspiring, and I suppose, does this teach us that if somebody turns up at your house, rings your doorbell and says, "Do you want to go into the forest with me?" it's not necessarily
a bad
a
thing.
bad thing, no.
What about if they look into your eyes?
I suppose it depends where it goes from there.
Well, it depends whether you go left or right, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But I think in this week of cheating, that's quite a heartwarming story for the curling community, isn't it? It's been quite the week on the ice.
It really has. I don't think I can ever recall curling feeling so controversial. So, yeah, a nice heartwarming story. Now, before we go any further,
Yes.
last week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Beware of Love.
Yes.
It's Like a Horny Tiger. Has now spawned a song and a video, courtesy of Stu. It's
Yes.
not just audio anymore, it's multimedia mayhem. Stu, what were you thinking?
Well, we wanted a jingle, didn't we? And
Yes.
from that, I got a bit carried away. So I actually wrote a song and made a video. This week on Mixcloud, I think we charted at 98 on the music charts.
Well,
Lots of people have been watching the video, so you can see that on YouTube. You can also listen to Beware of Love. It's Like a Horny Tiger. Also on Mixcloud. It's been well received.
is it?
It's been well received. I think the lyrics kind of touch people, especially not a double touch.
Good.
Especially over the Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice romantic weekend?
I certainly did. I put on the song,
Mm-hmm.
serenaded my other half with it.
Yeah, how did that go?
I mean, I wouldn't say well, particularly, but
yeah.
you know, it's the thought that counts, isn't it?
Also, over the last week, we've had Pancake Day as well, haven't we?
Yep.
Anyone have any pancakes?
Well, I got up early
Mm-hmm.
to see. I opened my stocking, so
Yeah.
Father Pancake had bought me
And what did he get you?
pancakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Surprise,
So that
surprise.
was nice. Then obviously we had our nice Pancake Day breakfast of pancakes, and it's a traditional Pancake Day dinner.
Yeah. What do you have on your pancake? You sweet or savoury?
I can take them either way.
Heard that. Yeah, sure. What about you, Gemma?
I like the traditional, good old sugar and lemon.
I like maple syrup, but that brings me on nicely. I know we like a little quiz, don't we?
Oh, a quiz.
Ooh, love a quiz.
Is it a cheese quiz?
No, this is a pancake quiz.
Better on cheese.
Now, do you know where the biggest pancake was made in 1994?
I mean, it sounds like the sort of thing the Americans might do.
Oh, so you're going to go for America. What are you going to go for, Gemma?
Yeah, France. Great.
You're going to go for France. Well, it's actually here in England.
My goodness.
In Rochdale in 1994. You wouldn't have guessed that, would you? Or would you, Jim?
Well, had you said the USA
Yeah.
was wrong, it was going to be my very next guess.
Of course it was. So my next question is, can you guess the diameter in meters of this world's biggest pancake? So, Jim, do you want to go first? How many meters would you say the diameters?
I'm going to go for a whopping 25 meters.
25 meters. Do you want to go higher or lower than that, Gemma?
I'm going lower. I like the number 12. I'm going to go with 12 meters.
So you're the closest. It's 15 meters in diameter. So we're now going to go. This is a really, really interesting quiz. How thick was it in centimeters? So, Jim, what we're going to go for? Okay, that's quite thick, isn't it?
It's quite.
Do you
I
want
think it's going to have
do you want to go higher or lower than that?
I'm going to go lower.
Yeah, and what are you going to go for in
I'm tempted to
centimeters?
stick with the 12, but might actually go
Yes.
1.2. So
Again, Gemma's
12
closer, 2.5 centimeters.
nice and thin.
So we're now going to move on to
the break. Yeah.
well, these are professionals, right? So we're now going to move on to the weight.
There's many more of these.
This is what our listeners want to hear.
They do.
How many tons do you think it was? So Jim first.
Let's let Gemma go first for once.
All right then.
Well, I
Jim.
think we all know what number I'm going to go for because it's to
So
be
how many tons?
12.
12 tons, higher or lower?
Lower. I'll go for 6.
Jim closer there. It's 3.
I should have
And
done the 1.2 again, shouldn't I?
it took 2 cranes apparently to flip it in Rochdale. And also, this is the last question. I'll give it to Gemma first. Gemma, how many calories did this pancake contain?
Oh, lots. Like lots.
I'm going to give you a clue. It's in the millions.
Really?
So
1.2. I'm just going to stick with my 1.2.
1.2 million calories, Jim?
2.
Spot on. 2 million. 2 million calories. So there we are.
Worth every calorie.
That was organised by the co-op as part of their 150th anniversary celebrations. Jim looking a bit nonplussed by my pancake trivia there.
It was bored, Stu. Not
Oh,
lost. It was bored.
Did you like it, Jim?
I thought it was beautiful, Stu. Who doesn't want to hear about a giant pancake?
Absolutely. That's what I thought.
I don't know about you two. I'd quite like to move on from the story now, if that's all right. Stu,
I really want a pancake, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, damn right. Damn hungry now.
We can stop if you want, and we can go and get pancakes.
Let's do that.
Right, Stu, you've got a story for us about little robots.
I have, yeah. This is in Japan. In the morning, you might just see small silver shapes gliding beneath the surface. These are floating recycling robots. So what they do is they scan for plastic waste before it has the chance to drift into the depths of the open ocean. They're solar powered and also AI guided. So they navigate the complex geography of shorelines, gently collecting the bottles and bags and synthetic debris. They clean without disturbing the rhythm of the tide or the life beneath it. For decades, our approach to ocean plastic has been the big cleanup, where we wait until the waste reaches the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Have anyone seen that? It's this huge, big area in the Pacific Ocean where all this plastic and debris and rubbish is absolutely massive, and then they have to send out ships to come and like scoop it all up. So the idea behind this is rather than letting it get to that point, we clean it up before it gets out of hand. The garbage patch in the Great Pacific Ocean, Gemma, because I see you're quite surprised by this, is twice the size of Texas. Absolutely massive. As I said, what happens is they then send out massive ships, which obviously need fuel. Again, not good for the oceans or the environment. It's also expensive. And by that point, really, it's a bit too late. So by the time plastic reaches the sea, it's already begun to break down into microplastics, which is a bad thing. Not only that, but it's also entering the bellies of whales and eventually our own food chain. So they're moving the front line of the battle from the middle of the ocean back to our own harbours and docks. These robots use computer vision to distinguish between a floating jellyfish and a floating grocery bag. They work 24 hours a day, And then obviously, as I said, powered by the sun that then glitters off the water to give them energy. So what they're doing is they're proving technology doesn't have to be an intrusion on nature. It can be a seamless extension of it. We stop fighting against the environment and start to begin to sort of harmonise with its cycles. So if we can deploy these robots in every harbour from Tokyo all the way through to New York, then not only are we just going to clean up the water, we can change our relationship with it, and we can move from being the ocean's polluters to being its partners. So I think that's an incredible story, isn't it?
Well, yes.
So, a lot of weeks we talk about AI, people are worried about it, but it can be used for good.
It can.
Can be used for good.
I think this is the future I was hoping for. Robots cleaning up after us while we just sit around eating chips.
Time to get some active waste trousers
Get yourself out there.
and send the robots out.
Imagine being a piece of plastic just quietly floating around in the ocean
Yeah,
and then being gently escorted away by a solar rumba.
yeah. That's the future,
I think so.
isn't it?
And while robots
Yeah,
are busy playing marine traffic wardens and
yeah.
scooping our rubbish out of the deep sea,
Mm.
people are finding a way to fight plastic in a much wetter and more sociable way.
Okay.
So, if you're going to tackle single-use plastic, you could do it with autonomous solar surface drones, the faint whiff of science fiction about them, or you could slip into a wetsuit with a gaggle of friends, go for a swim, and remind everyone that water is actually fun, not just something that dissolves socks in the washing machine.
Can I just say, is that something you do regularly?
What's that?
Slip into a wetsuit and then hang out with a gaggle of friends?
No.
You should. It sounds like fun.
I don't have a wetsuit.
Well, get
Or
one.
a gaggle of friends.
I mean, it sounds like you've got at least one friend who'd be up for that.
Yeah, and this is why I don't want to do it.
I think that would be quite the look, wouldn't it? If me and you went out in wetsuits with a gaggle of friends.
What's this done the pub? Outside swimming is what I want to talk about. The kind where you don't have to pay to get wet and you definitely don't have to wear a swimming hat. All that. Now that's stopped being a niche hobby. It's quietly turned into something like a plausible environmental movement. In England, groups of swimmers, councils, campaigners, and even some brands are starting to align around a shared mission, which is cut single-use plastic and its rather squelchy source. Ministers are proposing 13 new designated bathing spots across England, including the first ever official bathing water on the River Thames in London, a place that was once so polluted it was hard to tell where the sewer ended and the river started. Now, long-term listeners might remember we covered the Seine becoming safe to swim in again last year and saying that in our opinion it wouldn't happen in the UK. Looks like we might have been wrong.
So I read this story as well this week, and my understanding is these 15 rivers have been selected just to take readings. So I don't think anything has actually been done to the water, but the water is going to be monitored. So I don't think you should dive into the Thames unprepared. So I think you would probably need the right
Yes,
gear
absolutely.
and so on.
Yeah, don't just jump into the Thames any old place. But outdoor swimming is becoming more of a thing, part of our civic identity.
Is this what they call wild swimming?
Yeah, so on Brighton Beach, for example, swimmers queued up at the water's edge, emerged blinking like mer people meeting daylight, and they were handed hot drinks in refillable bottles, of course, not disposable ones. And that little swap, that's quite a major thing. The average adult in the UK, but how many single-use plastic bottles each year do you think average adult in the UK buys?
1,200.
You've got a little high there, Stu. It's 175. It's not a lot. Billions, though, are sold annually, a third of which are for water, and only a fraction get recycled. Plastic makes up, as Stu was saying, about 80% of marine litter. So Dan Roberts, who's the UK lead for a reusable bottle brand, that made the Brighton Swim part of its campaign. He reckons that when people physically reconnect with water, they start thinking about what's actually in it. He says swimming can be a turning point because the very thing people love getting wet in is being choked by plastic. And that connection is slowly coaxing change. Cities are thinking about how to expand water refill stations along promenades. Community programmes are steering regeneration money towards environmental infrastructure. And events like Brighton's Big Swim are bringing together thousands of people for a sea dip. So it's also a bit of a rallying cry to clean up plastic pollution. So, using a single plastic bottle by yourself might feel like bringing a teaspoon to a bathtub full of rubber ducks. But if thousands of people start doing it, then it becomes much harder for councils and policymakers to ignore. It starts off as a bit of a story about chilly swims, but actually it's more about turning a water-loving community into one that protects places it likes to dip into.
Yeah, and it's kind of a nudge, isn't it? Rather than people say, I'm not going to go swimming, it's polluted, I'll just leave it, I'll go in a swimming pool. People say, no, we actively want to use our waterways and we want to have connection to it. So if people start wanting to wild swim more, then they're hopefully more likely to lobby their local councils to clean up the water and give them maybe safer, cleaner spaces to swim in. That sounds like a great initiative. I used to sort of swim in the sea back in the day in the 80s. But I think pollution was quite bad then. I mean, we did clean it up. Obviously, since we left the EU, we've dropped it again. But I can quite easily remember swimming in Cromer in the sea, dodging the turds and the disused toilet paper. Can you?
Now, actually, speaking of leaving the EU, I don't know if you saw, but one of the architects behind that most wonderful initiative, Mr. Nigel Farage.
Oh yeah.
Said this week on social media, interesting quote, I can't be bullied. I can't be bought. I've stood for the same principles for many decades. And I just want to pick out this, but I can't be bought. Now, I don't know if you know this, but nearly 74% of Reform UK's funding since 2019, which amounts to over 16.6 million, is linked to individuals and companies with offshore interests, such as Jersey, the Cayman Islands, and Bermuda. The largest donor is Thailand-based crypto investor Christopher Harborn. But there are others, and it just makes me wonder, this man who can't be bought, why a party that presents itself as a defender of British interests, a significant portion of its financial backing then comes from people based outside the UK? Why do these capitalists want to help us so very, very badly? Because Nigel can't be bought.
It's almost like they're paying him money to lobby on their behalf.
Yeah, but surely that's not a man. Because if we look at Nigel's past,
yes,
I mean, apart from the occasional cameo video where he's been paid to, I don't know,
say things
like what a nice chap Ian Watkins was, and how he loved his
lost
kids.
profits,
and
the IRA,
supporting one.
I mean, isn't that being bought a little bit, giving someone a couple of £100 to say things that they've got no idea about what they're talking or saying?
I mean, I'm not saying that Nigel Farage absolutely can be bought.
No.
I'm just saying, I mean, it sort of looks
a bit
that
like way.
He can.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't say that, would we?
God, no.
To the uninformed.
Maybe it could look like it's quite easy to bribe him. Right, let's head to South America now.
Speaking of bribes, let's go to South America.
Well, Stu, something quite brilliant has happened in South America.
Has it?
Yeah, the trees are winning.
Oh, I love a tree story.
Yeah, Colombia has cut its deforestation rate again.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. It's kind of like we fixed it and it stayed fixed. So new government data shows tree loss is down 25% year on year. In the first 9 months of 2025, about 36,000 hectares of forest were lost, compared with 48,500 over the same period last year. Now, to be clear, that is still way, way too much forest being lost. But in a world where environmental graphs normally look like ski slopes designed by supervillains, this one is going the right way. The figures come from Colombia's Institute of Hydrology, Meteorology and Environmental Studies. And the slowdown isn't just in one spot. Deforestation's fallen in the Amazon and in other regions that have historically struggled, which suggests that it isn't a fluke. It might actually be, dare I say it, a plan.
Fantastic.
Now, one of the big reasons is a scheme called Conserva Paga, which is as simple as this. Around 5,000 families are paid up to $240 a month to protect or restore forest on their land. That's it.
Well,
Pay people to look after nature.
yeah, well, that's okay, isn't it? Like they can be custodians of the environment and nature. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So the government says that progress comes from working with communities
Mm.
rather than shouting at them from helicopters.
Mm.
So, yeah, stuff like ecological restoration, voluntary conservation agreements, sustainable farming, and actually supporting forest management instead of issuing stern warnings actually works. And I think there's something else quite powerful here. Research constantly shows us that one of the most effective ways to reduce deforestation is to put indigenous communities in charge of the land. Shocking, isn't it? When people who have lived with the forest for generations are trusted to look after it, they look after it.
Well, it's in their interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're invested, aren't they? Not only financially, but emotionally also.
Absolutely.
That's a great initiative.
Yeah.
I would plant trees in my garden if someone gave me $240 a month.
Well, I think one of the problems that people have had around there is deforestation is what supports them financially.
Yeah,
So you've got to kind of
yeah,
take that issue away. So if
yeah,
you're paying them
yeah,
who instead of chop the trees down
yeah,
and look after them,
yeah.
brilliant.
Well, an amazing story there.
So well done to Colombia and to the government out there. It's quite a nice, soothing little story for the brain. Now, on the topic of soothing stories,
Mm.
one of our favourite topics now.
Mm.
We love an animal story. You like tree stories, I know, Stu.
I
We
like
love animal
I
stories
like
too.
tree stories and I like ocean treaty stories.
I haven't got one of those this week, but Gemma has got a
Yes.
lovely story
Yeah.
for us about therapy animals.
Therapy animals.
I have. I'm very happy about this one.
I'm hoping somewhere in Lamb News, but we'll find out.
I don't want to spoil it, but as you're no doubt aware, there's loads of research showing animals boost mental health in ways humans sometimes can't.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs can lower cortisol levels just by being petted. Some hospitals even have prescription pups who do rounds. Cats, when they're not plotting world domination, reduce anxiety with that low, soothing purr. It's like a built-in white noise machine with whiskers. Rabbits are used in therapy for people with PTSD because their gentle rhythmic grooming can help regulate breathing. Alpacas, yes, alpacas, are used in care homes because they're calm, curious, and look like they've just stepped out of a Pixar movie.
Now, I have heard about the alpacas because
Have you?
you can book, can't you, to take them for a walk.
You can.
They do them all over the country because when they're content, they vibrate, don't they, to a frequency which then soothes the human being. So
So the
yeah,
equivalent of a pet owner.
alpacas are the ultimate therapy animal.
Well, you say that.
That's got to be worth a day out, isn't it?
Are they?
But anyway, let's not get stuck on alpacas. Carry on.
Dolphins have been shown to help children with developmental challenges engage more confidently in therapy sessions. But
Hmm.
sheep are the underdogs, the
Hmm.
unexpected heroes, the quiet kids in class who turn out to be brilliant at everything. So, there's a therapist in Leeds, Grace Olson, who originally trained in equine assisted therapy, an experimental non riding approach utilising horses for mental health treatment, personal growth, and rehabilitation. But then, enter Merlin. Merlin is not a horse, Merlin is a sheep, a Texel cross to be precise, which I'm pretty sure is sheep speak for built like a cloud, with attitude. And during one of Grace's sessions with a grieving widow, Merlin just wandered over, pressed himself into her knee, and basically said, "Move aside, human therapist, I've got this." And here's the wild part. This woman hadn't smiled in a year, a whole year, and Merlin gets one cuddle and suddenly she's laughing, proper full body, surprised laughter, the kind that sneaks up on you and reminds you you're still alive. Grace says Merlin does this every time someone comes in. He just knows. He senses distress like some kind of woolly empath. Honestly, he sounds like the colleague we all wish we had. Calm, intuitive, and unlikely to send passive-aggressive emails. And because Merlin is such a natural, Grace has now expanded her flock to 5 therapy sheep. Imagine turning up to a counselling session and being greeted by a small committee of fluffy emotional support consultants. Grace works mostly with people who are terminally ill, especially cancer patients, and she's writing a book to help fund free sessions, which is beautiful. That's the kind of emotional wisdom I trust, to be perfectly honest with you. So, next time you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or like life is a bit much, just imagine Merlin, a sheep with the emotional intelligence of a seasoned therapist, gently nudging your knee like, hey, you're doing all right. Also, snacks. I
What
think you'll agree.
snacks? What snacks could you give a sheep?
I don't think a sheep would be too fussy about snacks. I imagine a sheep's fussiness for snacks would be akin to a goat's fussiness for snacks.
Okay.
There would be no fussy.
What's the difference between a goat snack and a sheep snack?
I think sheep would probably like something like a banana.
Oh, here we go again. Walked right into that. Is this classified as lamb news?
I was
It's
hoping,
crossed into it,
It's
hasn't it?
crossed into it.
I
It's
was
sheep
hoping
sheep
so.
news. They're not using lambs, are they? Per
It's
se.
wrong season.
Well, who knows? It depends. The lady might
Mm.
get them in early. I don't know. But
Would you pay a sheep therapist? And what do they do? Like tickle your knee? Is that right? Say you're doing okay? I'd
yeah,
pay 50 quid for that, wouldn't you?
yeah.
50
He
quid to have
does.
a sheep tickle your knee.
Yeah, and say you're doing all right.
Hang on, hang
It
on.
actually talks, does it?
Well, you said they talk, do they? Is that right?
I don't think the sheep actually
What was
speaks.
that bit at the end? You said you're doing all right, kid. Did you say that?
I did.
You'd say that's the goat, presumably.
Yeah.
Gently nudging your knee as if saying, hey, you're doing all
Oh,
right.
okay. Oh,
Also,
you did say
no,
imagine, didn't you? I wasn't imagining hard enough, was I?
you really weren't. I should have paused. I
Yeah.
should have made you start imagining like
Yeah.
you make me start imagining.
Yeah.
And you could have done the
Make
waffly
better use of the
imaginary
emotional
hands.
imagery.
Yeah, well, I can see it now. I can actually see it now. This sheep, it's got a
Can
pair
you?
got a pair of glasses on, sitting there
Oh,
with its cloven hoof touching its chin, psychoanalyzing me, eating sheep snacks, um,
I have
and
a
trying to
takeaway.
figure me out. How's that? I'm using my imagination.
That is beautiful,
Is that the
Stu.
kind of thing you were after?
I
Imagine not smiling for a year. Could do that, I think. I'd give that a good go. Could you give that a good go, Jim?
I'm still working on it at the moment. I think I'm into my fourth or fifth year.
takeaway. Before we move on, can I get my takeaways
Yes, you
now?
can. We'll have a number 49. Take it away.
1, therapy can take many forms, and 2, sheep are dramatically more emotionally intelligent than any of us gave them credit for.
Jim, did you say you're going to talk about some ocean treaties?
Yeah, I mean, I can do if you like.
Yeah, no.
Still, I mean, you like quizzes on not particularly interesting topics. So, can you guess
Ah,
how many nations have now ratified
oh.
this treaty?
So is this new ones or is this
In
in total? Okay. So what were we up to? Can you remember, Gemma? I think we were up to about 50 or 60. Would that be about right?
We were actually a bit higher than
We're a
that.
bit higher than that. Shall we go? I mean, 85. What do you think, Gemma?
What are you going to go for, Gemma?
91.
91. Did you go 85 because you saw my screen?
No, I didn't.
Marvellous. It is 85.
Oh, for the car.
So,
Woo!
Don, any idea who the most recent nation is to ratify?
Have we done it yet? When I say we, I mean the UK.
Well, funny you should ask that, Stu.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
we have not.
I thought we had till the end of last year to get that done.
Well, we said we were going to.
Oh,
You know how our government loves a U-turn. I mean, it's not a bad guess. It's Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
They ratified on the 27th of January.
brilliant.
And, of course, the recently rebranded Turkey
Okay, right.
on the 16th of January.
Oh, excellent.
So we creep up. No, the UK still haven't done it.
Mm.
Of course we haven't. But slow progress continues to be made.
Well, another 2 this month. I look forward to the end of next month for the latest update on the Ocean Treaty Tracker. I know that's what a lot of our listeners tune in for, don't
Absolutely.
they? You
So,
know,
keep going.
edgy seat stuff, this, isn't it?
It really is.
Do we think the UK will manage this by the end of next month? What should we?
I doubt they'll manage it by the end of this year, but we shall see. Now let's get focused here, because we have been all over the place today. Our attention spans not doing very well.
Yeah.
Stu, you've got some news for us about our brains. Tell us what's going on with this whole attention business.
Have I? So did you know every single second there are 11 million bits of information that scream for your brain's attention? Did you know that in your conscious mind?
11 million every
second.
Every second.
But your mind only notices about 40 of them. So this means 99.99% of the world is being filtered out before you even wake up and smell the coffee. So we live in a world that blames us for being distracted. We blame our phones, open plan officers, and our lack of willpower. We feel like we are failing at focusing. So we aren't bad at focusing. In fact, your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just that we've been taught the wrong rules for how to use it. So we've been told that concentration is a struggle, but think about the last time, okay? We've been doing a lot of thinking and imagination tonight. Think about the last time you saw a photo of a cute cat, or even a therapy sheep, or scroll through a friend's vacation shot. Was that hard? No, because your brain prioritized it because it was interesting. Focus isn't about effort, it's about leaks. So to plug those leaks, we have to stop believing the three big myths. Myth 1, turning off notifications is enough. Research shows that if your phone is just sitting on the desk, even face down, even off, it drains your cognitive power. Your brain is using energy just to ignore it. If you want to do deep work, the phone doesn't belong on the desk. You need to put it in another room. Myth 2, we should strive for flow. So in the flow state, that magical place where time disappears, flow takes 15 minutes of uninterrupted work to kick in. In a world of pings and quick emails, most of us don't have 15 minutes. So stop aiming for flow and start aiming for seconds. Focus is just a few seconds of doing the same thing. So don't wait for the magic. Start the task. Get involved. Myth 3, we need peace and quiet. Actually, we don't all the time. We have enough stimuli. When a task is boring, your brain wanders because it's looking for a challenge. So the fix, make it harder. Read that dense report faster. Listen to some music. Trick your brain into thinking the task is a game worth winning. That's gamification, isn't it? So the real focus killer isn't social media, it's task switching. So every time you check a quick email during a meeting, your IQ drops. Part of your brain stays stuck on that email while the rest tries to listen to your boss. We call that multitasking. Science calls it attention residue. You're not doing two things at once, you're doing two things badly. So at the end of the day, your brain is physically tired. A chemical called glutamate builds up in your prefrontal cortex when you work hard. You can't biohack your way out of that. You have to sleep it off. This is why you should. Now, this phrase, I don't know if you're aware of this. This is why you should eat the frog. You've heard of that?
It's a book, yeah.
What's that?
So eat the frog. If I read it a long time ago,
Yeah.
it's interesting. If you've got a task that you don't really like the idea of, just get it done.
Oh, okay.
Eat that frog.
Oh, right. So you do the hardest task first whilst your brain is fresh.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, Gemma, are you going to eat the frog tomorrow, maybe?
Figuratively, maybe, not literally.
See, the other thing, if you don't eat the frog, is it's there. You're aware of it. It's
So
weighing
again,
down,
they said
feeling
that
you,
that'll wear you
feeling your
down
attention.
cognitively.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You still
I
may
have a
put your
frog
thing
weighing
together.
me down. I can relate to that.
Eat that frog.
Ah, so how do we win our attention back? It's not by working harder, apparently. It's by doing nothing. So real recovery isn't scrolling Instagram on your break. It's staring out of a window, walking without headphones, letting your mind wander so it can clean up those 11 million bits of data. So we don't need more productivity apps. We need to stop using our colleagues as brain dumps and start being intentional with our headspace. Our attention is our most finite resource. So we need to stop fighting our brains and start working with it. From tomorrow, we've got a hard task. Let's all eat the frog, put the phone in another room, embrace the boredom, and give your mind the silence it's been begging for. It's all quite interesting, isn't it? So Jim's just showing me a picture of Eat the Frog. Who's that by?
Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. So, if you're interested in, if you're a procrastinator or you struggle to get tasks done, it can be worth having a little read or a little listen. Eat That Frog.
It's quite hard, isn't it, sometimes to just sit down and do nothing. Do you struggle with that, or is that something you make time for each day? It's a form of meditation, isn't it?
It is.
If you can manage it 5-10 minutes, it does make you feel better, I find. Or are you more likely, Gemma, to have a scroll on your phone? I know I do all the time.
Yeah, I'm guilty of too much scrolling. I need
Yeah.
to
Well,
do
they
this.
call that doom scrolling, don't they?
Yeah, we're all
It is
sadly
the
a little
doubles
bit
of work.
addicted. Yeah.
Can this be kind of layered or teamed up with like cuddling a cat and thus the purring of a cat?
Well, I think even with a
A
cat,
layer?
you still
Would that be,
not over. I reckon that's good
but different?
to reduce stress. But even with a cat, you're now thinking about a cat, aren't you?
Mm.
I think what this is saying is just let go for a bit and reboot, refresh, then go back to what you need to do. And I think that's quite important, isn't it? If you're at a desk, to have a break. I do actually. I'm always going off for a little walk and coming back. But when you do go off for a while, I then sometimes things jump in my head going, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe when I get back, I'll do this and that. So do you make sure you have regular breaks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does
Yeah, it's
help, doesn't
important.
it?
Yeah.
Because then I think it does sort of freshen you up when you come back again. Yeah.
And one thing that I do working as a do out in my garden office
Mm.
is I don't have any facilities out here to make drinks.
Mm.
I'm good at toilet, anything like that stuff.
Mm.
Things are away from me. I have to take breaks.
Mm.
And it's good. I've kept it that way to force myself to do it.
Well, it's a bit like not putting the phone on the desk, isn't it?
Yeah,
By not having it in here, then you're not tempted to do that almost. But
That's it.
I think that is a thing, though, isn't it? If your phone's near you, it's always there, isn't it? You sort of you are thinking. Now we've sort of talked about that. I do that. I can feel myself thinking about it. Go, I'm going to pick it up in a minute and have a look.
Well, what a roller coaster of a show it's been. We've had curling, miniature robots, deforestation, therapy animals, do the lie down now. Look, we've got a fantastic show lined up for you next week when we'll be joined all the way from Missouri by comedian KB, which gives Stu another chance to suck up to our American listeners. Stu, anything you want to say at this point?
We love our American listeners.
Apparently more than we love others.
No, I never said that. That's you putting words in my mouth.
You never talk about the others, Stu.
I wouldn't say I take our UK listeners for granted. But anyway, I'm looking forward to meeting Kay anyway. We've got listeners all over the US.
I want a little
So it's
scratchy
only about time we had an American guest. So Kay's going to be our first guest from America. So we're really looking forward to that. And her sharing her story about how she became a stand-up comedian and what comedy does for her and her well-being and soul.
Fantastic. Well, we'll leave it there for this week. We wait in a state of barely contained excitement to see if Stu concocts another song based on this week's episode or whether sanity returns. So until next time, bye.